On June 21st, 2024, we're going to have a full moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. Now, this full moon is going to be opposite of the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. It's going to be square to Neptune at 29 degrees. And so if you know that full moons, they always bring about closures or endings or culminations. They reveal things that were once hidden during the daylight, and we now are able to gain some clarity from it. So the sign of Capricorn always represents discipline, hard work, persistence, responsibility, authority. And so the sun brings in our awareness to topics that revolve around family and protection and our home and our emotional side. Add in the layer of Venus themes. This is about money or love or safety or security, our personal resources, and what we need to do in order to feel secure about them. Mercury here adds in a layer of communication, either keeping it to ourselves or the way that we're going to say things to others. It's an opportunity to be sensitive and adaptable at the same time. Now, this full moon in Capricorn, it's encouraging you to revisit like childhood themes or patterns that you have seen while growing up, possibly topics that involve or revolve around family or authority figures that are in your life. This could be especially the stories that you may have been either telling yourself or other people who have been telling you who you are. This could be anybody in your life of who and what you are and describing who you are, describing your limitations, telling you about your capabilities and how you now need to move forward with a more adult perspective from a healthier, empowered place. This full moon in Capricorn, it gives you the opportunity to release any childhood or victimhood mentalities that you have either placed upon yourself or others have placed upon you. And now you're able to take ownership of your life and the direction in which it's now heading. It's going to be a time that you're going to need to take accountability for your actions, to honor your commitments. These are Capricorn themes, and to celebrate your milestones, big and small. The full moon in Capricorn, this is going to be a powerful time for some introspection using those Cancer themes and transformation and looking at where we have grown, embracing the opportunity to align with your personal and your professional lives and to move forward with greater clarity and empowerment. Hi, I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate, and this is your full moon in Capricorn monthly astrology forecast for June 2024 for all 12 signs. Now, before we dive in, I want to share about my new Transit Talk webinars. They're going to be these interactive offerings that will last about an hour and a half. I encourage you to sign up, check out my website at willowgracemystic.com, and you can find out more information about each monthly offering. And they will be recorded, so if you cannot join live, then you can join at a later date, or again, watch as often as you want. But they are interactive. The first half of it is taught as in a mini lesson, and then the second half of it is going to be interactive, where we use the charts of the people that are in the actual class or webinar at the time. So to learn more, visit willowgracemystic.com. To get astrological updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. Now let's dive in. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, the full moon is occurring at the top of your chart in your 10th house. Now, the sign of Capricorn, it always represents discipline, persistence, responsibility, authority. And the full moons, they bring about endings and closures. Now, the sun in your 4th house of home brings in topics of home and family and traditions, your genealogy, anybody that feels like home. And so we bring in the topics around Venus of wanting to love and protect anybody that feels like a family member or that is a family member, looking for a layer of security. Bringing in topics of Mercury is how do I can be sensitive and adaptable with the way that I'm communicating. Now, full moons. at the top of your chart can be an ending of something that has to do with your job or your career, of I'm leaving this position, I'm moving on to this, I'm retiring from this, I'm quitting this job. A full moon in the 10th house is a manifestation that could be I'm transferring, I need to leave it. It could be something is public and other people see it. There could be a lot of public attention on you at this time, or it could be something with your job that is now going to be revealed that has something to do with authority figures, or a culmination of sorts. Like that we could be ending a project, or something that you've been working on is now going to be coming to an end, and the fulfillment of yay, people can now see this. There is a square to Neptune. Neptune is in your 12th house. The 12th house is hidden enemies, and it's also self-sabotage. There are a lot of positive attributions that go with the 12th house, but this is a square. Squares need to be integrated. So a square at this time creates confusion or illusion, or not seeing things clearly. And so it's prompting you to take time, be methodical, slow and steady with where you're going and what you're doing, and focus on clarity in order for you to make the practical changes that you need in order to move forward with your goals, your aspirations, and coming from a more empowered and knowledgeable place. This is going to be a time where the needing to find a balance between my home and my career with emotional and practical sides, and finding the harmony between these two areas of your life. So Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, the full moon is occurring in your 9th house. The full moon in the sign of Capricorn brings about the topics of discipline, persistence, responsibility, authority, in all topics that are around taking a class, taking a workshop, graduating from something, traveling somewhere, religion, spirituality, teaching something. The 9th house is publishing, and it's also legal matters. Now, the sun in your 3rd house brings about topics that are closer to home, that revolve around the sun in the sign of Cancer, with your siblings, your neighbors, your cousins, how I feel about these people, protecting my home, protecting the way that I communicate. The 3rd house is you communicating with other people, and it's where we connect with people and we talk and exchange ideas. The 3rd house is also about travel and technology. So this could have to do with cars, or using AI or science or technology, email, phone, text, all of those topics. And Venus saying I need safety, I need security in all forms of my Mercury communication. What I'm saying in private. So bringing these topics to the forefront brings in manifesting maybe finally taking that trip that's far away, or finishing that trip, or finishing the class, or a culmination of like a graduation of sorts. Anything that has to do with completing of your studies, or something that you have been wanting to do or that you are doing. There could be finally putting the finishing touches on something that you want to publish or share or teach. And it could also be something that, like, I'm ready to launch that book. I'm ready to launch that podcast. I'm ready to get out there and do this. It also has to do with ending or revealing some endings that have to do with legal matters. Now, I want to bring in the topic of the square to Neptune. Neptune is in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, the people that you are connected with. This could include This could include work partners that you share. It's like shared creativity. It's your social circle. It's groups and organizations in which you belong to in order to either for pleasure or for work. And so Neptune here brings about confusion, and it's going to be prompting you to see through any forms of deceptions of where you're going or where the group or the organization or people that are within this are going. Squares are meant to be integrated, and so this will be a time that you need to focus on finding the clarity and making the necessary practical changes in order for you to move forward with the things that you want to accomplish. Because a full moon in the ninth house is, I'm ready to accomplish this. I'm ready to finish this. I am going to be responsible and see it through to its end. So Taurus, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, the full moon is occurring in your 8th house. This is really important for you because it's the house of your resources shared with other people. The 8th house is going to require you to look at where are your investments with others. This can be with business partners, significant others. This could be with exes, and this could be with family members. All 8th house topics revolve around where you have shared finances, shared investments, shared resources. This can be with alimony, child support, debt, wills, anything that comes about that you are connected to other people. This could be inheritances. Now, Capricorn represents discipline, responsibility, persistence of where are my things that are tied up with other people. A culmination could mean there will be some kind of an ending or closure. Now, the sun has you focused on your personal money, wealth, resources, cash, property, skill set. Your 2nd house is your values, your opinions. Bring in Venus, and Venus is saying, we need to protect these things. And Mercury is, I need to be sensitive and adaptable in the way that I am communicating my wants, my needs, my desires at this time. So the full moon could be an ending to a partnership, a disillusionment of a partnership. This could be a beginning of where two people were single and now they're bringing their resources together. It can be associated with creating like a prenup or some kind of a business agreement. There can be a finalization to something that has to do with debt or inheritance, or a loan or a taxation, something that where your money has been placed or your resources have been placed. This could be through your work money or your personal with family members or yourself. Now there's a square. The square comes with Neptune in your 10th house of authority figures, your career, your job, your legacy, your reputation. A square with Neptune creates this illusion, and it also creates confusion. So there's confusion about like really what's going on here, and you having to use this full moon to say, oh, I'm seeing more in the moonlight, that there's going to be some endings, closures, culminations, and I need to be able to see through this deception, and I need to focus on the clarity to make the practical changes that are needed in order for me to move forward, to truly protect what is mine and what I have combined or invested with other people. So Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, this is really important because this involves everything that has to do with you, your identity, yourself, your image. I always say that the first house is your business card, your website, your self-interest. It's what belongs to you, what is you, what you have created. So this could be your business. This could be a project. The Sun here is bringing about wanting to protect, being emotional with this. Venus is brings up the topic of money and love and safety and security, and wanting to tap into how do I protect this? What is being revealed? What is ending? And Mercury here is bringing this layer of communication that is sensitive and adaptable. The full moon is in your 7th house of partnerships. The full moon is in your 1+1 house. This can be business partners, significant others, clients. The 7th house is not just love, but it's these contractual agreements or these contractual legal matters. It's the handling of conflict. Your 7th house is open enemies. It's exes. The 7th house brings in topics of your connection and your trust that you have connected with other people with your social contracts. Now, this could be an end to a friendship. This could be an end with a client no longer needing your service, or ending the negotiations, ending a relationship. This could be illuminated and brought about at this time. There is a square to Neptune. Neptune is in your 9th house of foreign people, places, and things, and it's also legal matters, publishing, and these cross-cultural experiences. And so when we bring in a topic of Neptune, it creates confusion and illusion, and it prompts you to really have to take a long, hard look at any deceptions and focus on the clarity, the facts that are there. Use discipline, responsibility. You need to take a good, hard look at things and make the practical changes that are needed in order for you to move forward. So Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, the full moon is going to be in your 6th house of your daily habits. Now, the 6th house could be connected to an ending to a health issue. It could be ending a health regimen. The 6th house is your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. You could no longer need to see the chiropractor, no longer need to see the counselor. The 6th house is your nurturing of yourself, and it's also your service to others. So there could be some ending of, I no longer am going to be volunteering, or the project that I've been volunteering is no longer, I no longer am going to be participating with that. The Sun is in your 12th house. We have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. The Sun represents you needing to make sure that you take time for you. The 12th house is the house of isolation, and it's I need to isolate for self-care. The 12th house is my personal unconscious. It's connecting to my dreams and my intuition. It's the house where we withdraw and we take care to meditate, and we do yoga. We tap into our inner self. So at this time, you could be working on all types of culminations that are ending possible health issues or health issues of pets, and some daily routines in order for you to initiate new daily routines. Capricorn represents where we need discipline and persistence and responsibility. And this is in your 6th house of your daily habits. And the Sun is bringing awareness to topics of I need to protect. You need to protect your isolation, your private time, your alone time, your time that you get for inner healing, where you can connect to your higher power, your divine, your inner source. The 12th house is where we take the deep journeys, and you need to be able to protect your private time and make sure that you're giving yourself enough time for mental, physical clarity. Now, there's going to be a square with Neptune. Neptune is in your 8th house of your shared resources, you connected with other people. It's also the house of deep bonding. So the 8th house can represent money, resources, and things that are tied up or invested with other people. I want to bring in it's where we desire these deep connections. And so you working really hard for those deep connections with other people and wanting to keep the peace with them. This square with Neptune brings about confusion. And it prompts you that you need to see through any deceptions, that you need to focus on the clarity and make sure that you are making these practical changes so they don't affect your health. The 6th house revolves around all topics of sickness, nutrition, and needing to care for self-care. And so making sure that others are not pulling you away, or too much of involvement with others, or having to care for others. The 6th house is also the house of slavery. And when you can no longer care for yourself and you're only caring for someone else, it's kind of being a slave to their needs. And so focusing on the clarity and making the practical changes that you need in order to move forward for your mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being. So Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, you're having a full moon in your 5th house. Now, Capricorn energy represents where you need to be disciplined, persistent. This is about responsibility, and this is in the house of children and creativity and your creative self-expression, where we take a risk. Now, the Sun in your 11th house is bringing in topics of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, and being aware of wanting to protect those, being emotionally invested into those. A full moon, meaning between the sun and moon in Cancer and Capricorn, is both emotional and practical, and having to balance your emotional needs with your practical desires also. We have Venus here bringing in topics of money and love and safety and security, with where you want to go, what you want to do, your literal goals, and who you align yourself with. Mercury offering this layer of communication, of being sensitive and adaptable with how you are sharing your thoughts and your feelings. A full moon in the 5th house can bring about endings or culminations that either have to do with your children, topics that revolve around your children. This could be they're graduating, they're moving on, they're getting married, or having a child. This could be romance, ending an affair, ending something that has to do with a creative project, with art or music, or where you have started a project. Now, this is the house of what we do for fun and for joy and for pleasure. And so there can be a completion of a project, a social event is launched, or moving on to a different level by connection to other, your peers, bringing in your 11th house topics of these are my hopes and my dreams, and these are the people that I connect up with, and then somebody there seeing something some of your work, and then taking you or taking it to the next level. There is some kind of a culmination or an ending that has to do with that's connecting you with these topics that will result in, like, it could even be finishing school or finishing something that has to do with what you have normally done for fun, and now you're saying that part is over. I'm like, I've reached my pinnacle with it. I'm now ready to move on to something else. Now, there is going to be a square in your 7th house of your partnership, or your business partner, your significant other, clients, or open enemies or exes. I'm adding that in there because the 7th house, with a square to the 7th house, it's your 1+1 house. It's about love and contractual relationships, and this can be business or this can be of personal. And so with this square to Neptune, it brings about confusion and what is going on? Where am I moving forward? It's going to prompt you to look for deceptions or illusions and focus on what is crystal clear. Where is the full moon illuminating that this part of my life is ending, or my child's life is moving on to like adulthood or something. And this is where things can now, like, this offers me freedom and liberation. And I need to focus on the clarity of, in order to make the practical changes that I need in order to move forward. Not all endings are bad. If this is a child moving out, then this is an opportunity for liberation and freedom for you to do what you want. If this is a project or an activity, this could be a culmination of this and moving on to another level. So Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Libra Sun and Libra Rising, this full moon is occurring in your 4th house of your home, your family, your traditions, your roots, your foundation, things that feel like home, people that feel like home. It's your real estate. So we have the sun illuminating all topics of you in the outside world. The sun at the top of your chart has a focus on your career, your job, your legacy, authority figures in the sign of Cancer. So we bring in topics of wanting to protect home and family and being very emotional or connected to the emotional side of things. Venus brings in the topics of love and money and safety and security. And Mercury here is adding this layer of being sensitive and adaptable with my words and what I'm sharing with others. Now, this opposition between these two, meaning I need to balance my emotional side with my practical side. A full moon in the 4th house can bring about something that has to do with your parents moving. This could be your somebody moving out of your house, like children moving out of your house. You selling property, you selling your real estate. It can signal an ending or a culmination to anything that has to do with your real estate, your property, your home, your family. Anything that has to do with, like, maybe paying off your mortgage, anything that has to do with a completion of a real estate matter, an ending that has to do with your parents. It could manifest as a theme of someone retiring, ready to downsize, becoming an empty nester, or selling my home and ready to do something else with it, expand or move on. So the square to this comes with Neptune in the sign of Pisces in your 6th house of your daily habits. The daily habits is self-care. The 6th house represents not just taking care of myself, but it's the balance. It's the house of where do I balance between my home and my work. It's like co-workers and it's pets, but it's also self-care. And so where you have Neptune creates this confusion that it's really prompting you to see through the deception. Use this full moon to look at what is being illuminated at this time, what is being revealed, what can you now see with more clarity, and that you need to use discipline and persistence and be responsible for your actions as you move forward, and to look for where you can make these practical changes that you need in order to move forward with these endings. So Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, you are having a full moon in your third house. Third house topics for you are about siblings and neighbors and cousins and communication. It's the house of learning and technology and short distance travel. It's your neighbors. It is parks. It's who you communicate with on a daily basis. It is through your daily commute. It's gossip, email, phone, text. Capricorn represents discipline and persistence and responsibilities with all those themes and topics. The Sun is bringing your attention to traveling, cross-cultural experiences, wanting to publish something, taking a class, taking a workshop, higher level of learning with religion or spirituality, or taking like higher level coursework. It's about universities. It's your ideals and your beliefs. And the Sun here brings in about topics that revolve around protection and your emotional side of, this is where I want to be. This is really what speaks to me. I want to learn this. I want to understand this. I want to be able to connect with this. Venus brings in the themes of money and love and safety and security and wanting to have that connection. Mercury bringing in the connection of being sensitive and adaptable with your words and the things that you want to do. Now, a full moon in your third house can also be associated with these small coursework classes that maybe you've been taking. It's your day-to-day travel, and so maybe you can work from home. Maybe you don't have to travel far away or further. Maybe you can do things through Zoom. It could be finalizing matters that have to do with a class or coursework, or working towards something, or correspondence and communication, using science, using technology, something being revealed or illuminated that can make things easier for you. And this could be like, how am I going to use AI? This could also be something that could be an ending or a culmination that involves your neighbors or your neighborhood. This could be something that has to do with your sibling, or maybe they're moving away, or maybe your neighbor is moving away. This is your connection to people that are closer to home, and this could be there could be a relationship that comes to an end, or a falling out of sorts, or a disagreement of sorts. Something being revealed or illuminated, something brought to the light. Now, there is a square to Neptune. Neptune is in your fifth house of children, and it's creativity. It's the house of love affairs and investments. And the fifth house represents your self-expression and your creative outlets. And so there's some kind of conflict going on about coursework that you're wanting to take, or something that your children are doing, an ending of sorts, of wanting to travel, keeping something closer to home. The square to Neptune creates this confusion that prompts you to see through these deceptions, and that you need to focus on the clarity of what is now being revealed in order for you to make the practical changes that are needed in order for you to move forward and have these healthy endings, and be responsible for like what is now going on. So Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, the full moon is occurring in your second house. Your second house In the sign of Capricorn, Capricorn themes revolve around where you need to have discipline and persistence and responsibility over your own cash, property, resources, skill set. Your second house is having to do with your personal possessions, your finances. It's about what belongs to you. What do you need in order to feel safe and secure in order to move forward? The sun is in your 8th house. And so the sun is illuminating possibly your partner. You connected up with a business partner, a significant other, family members. The 8th house is your shared resources that are invested with other people. This could be through alimony or child support or taxes or debt or investments. The sun is bringing your awareness to your home, your family, and Venus is wanting to bring in themes of love and money, and I need to secure my resources. I need to secure where my resources are invested or tied up with other people, within partners. I also need to communicate that clearly in a sensitive way because Mercury is here. Now, having these endings in your second house could be I'm paying off, like having enough money that I now get the pay raise, or I've budgeted money, I can now pay for something. I get that bonus that I've been wanting for. I get a chunk of money. This is about you finally saying, I have reached a pinnacle, a financial pinnacle of I can either buy this, or I feel that my skill set is being appreciated. My possessions I know that are valued or worth this. Your work ethic is being valued. Now, with this, again, endings and culminations, there comes this square. The square is in your 4th house of your home, your family, your traditions of security, and it's in the sign of Neptune. So Neptune always brings about, in a square, it brings about confusion or illusion, and it prompts you that you have to look hard and be diligent and persistent with your personal assets and resources, your personal money, your debts, your obligations of what you have tied up with other people and what is clearly yours. And you have to focus on the clarity of and make the practical changes. And if that means moving money from one place to another, or something that could have to do with the contracts of, this could be wills, this could be debt, this could be like literally investments. This is like everything to do with your finances and your finances that are tied up or connected with other people. And so needing to make the practical changes to benefit your home in order to move forward. So Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, this is all about you. There's going to be some kind of an ending or a culmination or a closure. It's about your first house. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your appearance. I always say that the first house represents like your business card or your website, something that you've created, something that you have, that your desires or your interests are in. Capricorn represents discipline and persistence and being responsible and being the authority figure. The sun is having you focus on your +1 house, your 7th house. The sun in Cancer in your 7th house is with love, or with business partners or marital partners or clients, your one-on-one relationships. The 7th house also represents the house where we have negotiation and cooperation, and it includes all topics of handling legal matters and conflict and it's trust and your connection to other people. It's you plus somebody else. In the sign of Cancer brings your awareness to family and protection of your home, your personal resources, and it's emotional. And so this is an emotional sun with a very practical moon, and having to balance these two areas of your life. And so Venus is bringing in themes that have to do with what is yours, your money, your resources, your safety, your security. How do I secure what is mine and what is connected with other people? This could be setting up a will or a trust or something with your business partner or with your significant other. Now we add in Mercury, and Mercury is about being sensitive and adaptable and very communicative with your words. And so an ending in your first house could result with, it can be very emotional, because remember, this is like earth and water trying to find this healthy balance. You could be finishing the finishing touches on a project that you've started, your new look. This could be something that has to do with your weight or your body or your let's say that you're working to become a Reiki practitioner, like your goals of what you're doing, your image, changes to your personality, something that has to do with a health goal. You could be ending that. This is it's all about you and what you want to accomplish. And there's going to be some kind of an ending or culmination or closure that goes along with this that you have had to really work hard for, that represents discipline and persistence. The square comes to Neptune. Neptune is in your third house of your neighbors, your siblings, how you're communicating your thoughts, your ideas, science, technology, using AI. The third house has to do with building of relationships. It's transportation and communication. It's literally who you talk and share ideas with on a daily basis. And so neighbors, siblings, and people that you meet on a day-to-day basis. A square is a hard aspect that needs to be integrated. It's a 90-degree angle. And so a square to Neptune brings about topics that revolve around confusion and with how you're communicating or what people are saying about it, and prompting you to see through the deception that Neptune can bring and focus on the clarity of your goals and your persistent and reaching these goals and making the practical changes that you need to move forward and being healthier all the while. So Capricorn, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising, this full moon is occurring in your 12th house. The 12th house for you represents isolation, hospitalization. It's where we are pulled from society, where we go within. It could be yoga and meditation, but it's it's where we go for rest and recovery. It's our connection to the spiritual realm, but it's being away from other people. Now, the sun is drawing your attention to your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being, and taking care of and nurturing yourself on a day-to-day basis. The sun in Cancer here brings in topics of I need to protect and value my home, of the service that I give to others, of how do I take care of myself before I give to others. The 6th house represents illness and disease, but it's also self-care. So the sun is illuminating this area of your life where I have to protect myself and take care of myself on a daily basis, whether this means seeing a doctor or a mentor, a counselor, or if this means vitamins or supplements or eating healthier. Venus here brings in a protection of love and money and security of my personal resources. And Mercury is bringing in being sensitive and adaptable with my words. The 6th house can be of slavery if it doesn't, it wants to be of service to others, but it has to first take care of, you have to take care of yourself before you can nurture and care for others. And so the 12th house with the full moon, there could be a secret that has now been revealed because the sun is illuminating and bringing to an end or a culmination 12th house, like the isolation. This could manifest as addictions. The 12th house is the house of undoing, and it's illness. And so this could be, I'm ending my seclusion, or I am now taking care of myself, and now I need to make a daily practice in order to move forward and be healthier with what I'm gaining. The 12th house can manifest as an ending of where you have been withdrawn. This could be where you went on a retreat, or hospital, like you were in the hospital for a recovery of some sort, maybe a hospitalization, and or rehab. This could also mean jail. And now I am ending this, and it's ending also having low energy, being a time when you're ready to now start feeling more energetic, less lethargic, and join the world again. And so this is going to be a really good full moon that says, now I can put this part of my life, this chapter behind me. Now there is a square to Neptune. Neptune is in your second house of your self-worth, and it's what do you need in order to feel safe and secure. And so definitely taking care of yourself, making sure that you're giving yourself enough time away from other people, and making sure that the people that you are around are healthy for you, that they are there to support your mind, body, and spirit. So Neptune brings about confusion or illusion, and prompting you to make sure that you are looking through the deceptions in other people and focusing in on the clarity, making sure that you are making the practical changes to your day-to-day living situation in order for you to move forward, in order to have the best opportunity to do well with this transit, to get the most out of this. And so if you're coming from the hospital, follow the doctor's orders and make sure that you're going to following through with the medication or the workouts that you do afterwards. Or if this is coming out of isolation, making sure that you're going to the meetings or anything that people are going to support you with what you are now moving forward with. And so Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, this full moon is occurring in your 11th house. And so the sign of Capricorn represents discipline and persistence and responsibility with your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. Who have you networked with? Who have you aligned yourself with in order to get where you want to go? The Sun is magnifying your 5th house of either your children, or it's the 5th house of where I'm willing to take a risk. It's the house of lovers, of love affairs. It's the house of investments, and it's the house of creativity. It's the house of where do I what do I do in order to explore creative outlets? And so the Sun is here bringing all kinds of attention to protecting my home, protecting what my children, my emotional side. The Sun in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn, they're bringing in emotional and practical and needing to find a balance in these two areas of your life. Venus brings in the topics of love and money, safety and security, of projects that you've started or things that have to do with your children or your intimate partners. And remember that the 5th house is also recreation and self-expression and gambling, and it's where we take risks. And so Mercury here has you focused on how can I communicate in a sensitive and adaptable way that I can blend these energies together. Full moon in your 11th house can because it's associated with groups and your friends and organizations, it brings topics that are, there's going to be some type of an ending. This could mean maybe you finished a project and you will no longer see those same people. You're ready to move on from it. Or this could be manifesting as a new beginning of, I finished this and now I'm going to be networking with these people. This could mean I no longer am going to be volunteering with this group. The 11th house is not just your friends group, but it's where you want to focus on achievements and who do you align yourself with. And so maybe you are connected with the right person and they are going to help move you on to the next level. Or maybe you're going through, let's say you're going through your social media and saying, this section does not resonate with me. I need to upgrade, or I need to change. I no longer want to be associated with that, or it no longer resonates with me. This could be an opportunity that people that are in your group, maybe some of them move away, or maybe the group disbands, or maybe you go through your social media or go through your group affiliations and you're spread too thin, and you have to say, I have to cherry pick through there and see what resonates with me. There needs to be some kind of a closure or an ending. It's not always bad. Sometimes it's an upgrade of, if I move away some, get rid of some, because this has just come to its natural ending, I can now attach myself to new or invest into new. Your 11th house represents these organizations or community of where we want to also support the collective. And so there might be some goals that you have reached, or goals, people that you now want to work with for new goals. Now, there is a square to Neptune. Neptune is in your first house. And so we know this has everything to do with you and being torn or feeling like, it's all about you. This could have to do with your business, something that you've created, a creative project, because I want to bring in the 5th house. The 5th house is not just children, but it's creativity. And so there's going to come something that you will feel torn between these two areas of your life that will either be revolving around creative projects, projects that have group affiliations, lovers, or things that you have started, hobbies or artistic pursuits. And so Neptune in your first house is bringing about some confusion about what is going on in these two areas of your life, and how do I find a balance? What do I get rid of? What do I not? What needs to end? What is naturally ending? And I need to be okay with that. And so it's prompting you to see through any deceptions or illusions and make sure that you're focusing in on clarity and making the practical changes that you need in order to move forward. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. And for a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com.